Hello everyone, January 21st. Alright, I just saw Djokovic just won the match against Alcaraz and now through to the semifinals. Well, I mean, it's pretty clear who is the greatest of all time in tennis. I think Djokovic is the greatest of all time. No doubt. Almost, I think, what, 38? Almost 38 years old? Playing someone who's, like 21. It's just unthinkable in tennis. And playing Alcaraz. Alcaraz is, like, I think he's number 3 now, but, like, amazing player, right? Just kind of make me think, like, what makes a player the GOAT, right? Doesn't matter what sport it is. It's, of course, you will imagine the good players, the GOAT players, will have a lot of highlights. But the thing that really defines them is consistency. Consistency. Consistently winning, consistently getting back from a losing position, and consistently producing, winning shots. Consistently just doing the right thing, making the right decision, keeping your body in shape, right? This is just, I mean, I don't do really a very serious sports, but I do, recreational lifting, and I have goals to achieve in the lifting, and I already know how difficult it is, to keep everything in check, right? It's not just about like being on a court. There's also a lot of things that you don't see, training wise, recovery wise, your diet, your sleep, your mentality. Like there's so many things must be on the top. So many things has to be on check in order to get to that level. Yeah, that's why it's hard to be the greatest of all time, I mean, everyone competing at that level in Australian Open, everyone there they got talent. I think everyone gets talent, amazing talent, but there's always a difference. I remember it's Eddie Hall. He once said, no, he was strongman, right? He once said he he probably is not. You probably cannot out train some of your competitors. There will always be someone who's crazier than you. They'll train really hard, but he makes sure he will out recover everyone. Yeah, that's the thing. It's just everything that small little bit that will separate these people at the very top level. Now I do believe this LeetCode thing also have the same. Now you all have people doing this, training for this. I don't know about training for this, but people also do this consistently, and then but they're always someone who's a little bit better because they just do this a little bit more, and I mean for this I don't really think um I mean consistent practice is definitely one way to improve, but at the other end there's always the additional learning, right? Look at me. I have all these tabs open, but I just don't feel like doing those. I mean, you have goals, right? Goals. I want to deal with all these things. There are just previous problems so hard that I could not solve, or someone I solved, but if you ask me to do it again, I won't be able to. Yeah, but I just leave them here to rot. Never really wanting to do this. That's kind of separating, right? That's the separating factor why I was not on the top of this game. But anyway, we're not doing this for competition. Competition is always hard. We're doing this for fun. That's kind of me justifying myself not going through all these things. Anyway, let's get into today's challenge. Map of highest peak. I feel like I've done this before, but it has not been solved. So you're given an integer matrix is water, m by n, represents a map of land and a water cells. If it's equal to 0, then it's a land cell. If it's 1, it's a water cell. Wait, what? Wait, really? You must assign each cell a height. Oh, so when we start, we have which part is water, which part is land. And you must assign each cell a height in a way that follows these rules. The height of each cell must be non-negative, okay? If the cell is a water cell, its height must be 0. Okay. Yeah, because water is always 0. Any two adjacent cells must have an absolute difference of at most 1. A cell is adjacent to another if it's adjacent on 4 directions. Find an assignment of heights such that the maximum height is maximized. Return an integer matrix of size n by n where height is the height. Okay, so the first problem, I have the original matrix like this. We have 0, 1, 0, 0. So this is water. These are land. So all the waters has to be 0. So you can assign water to be 0, right? And then any two adjacent cells must have absolute height of at most 1. So you want to build high. So you say, okay, here I'll put 1, here I'll put 1, because these are land. And then from there, I can say this can be 2. But why in the second one we don't have that? All right, let's just run another example in the second one. I have 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 0, and 0, 0, 0. So we have 2 waters, right? 2 water cell, and the rest are height. So my current ideal is kind of a BFS. We start from the water cells, and then we go to find its adjacent. So the adjacent has to be all 1s, right? And then we start from the adjacent. We started from the new cells, and then we try to go. If it's been filled, then it's just been filled. It cannot do, but if it has not been filled, so it's this also has 1, right? And then it's adjacent. So I'll say this will be 2, right? This is only adjacent. This only adjacent is this. So I say 2, and this adjacent is this. So you have to do the minimum, right? Because each one will get the previous plus 1, right? You get a value. Minimum. And then if someone can get a higher one, but because someone can get a higher one, but because of the previous value, which means someone depends on this. So you cannot get a higher one, you have to get a lower one. Yeah, basically there may be a path, right? So like we have a 0, and then we can just keep increasing. But then if I have a 0 here, you know what? This is actually a good example, right? This is a good example. So 1, right? And then this will be 2, and 2, this will be 3. But we can now do 3. Oh yeah, this is actually a good example. Because we start from, yeah, we should start from the 0. So I have 0 here, 0, so I start from here. And then this will be 2, 2, 2. So this answer is also 2. So yeah, I think that should be the solution. We'll run through it, and we'll see how it goes. Okay. We have is water. right? And then so we'll do int max on everybody, okay? And then we need a q. We'll do pair. Okay, so we have this q, and then we'll just go through every one once to find where is our I say if is water is equal to 1, then I'll push it into the queue. Right, now we'll push it into the queue, and then we'll pop it out. So when I visit a cell, its height should already be specified. So when I go to the next one, I'll assign its height. Okay. Then we say res ij equal to 0 and q dot push ij. All right, and then we say while q is not empty, you look amazing. You shall receive an email from the lawyer because you need to sign a paper. It's a retainer. Yeah, it's a retainer. Wait, is that q.pop? Actually, I'm not sure how to use q. C++ q. Yeah, all you need to do is just assign it, and that's it. Oh, you probably receive another one about the invoice, but I took care of that already. So we do front to get it, and then we pop, remove element from the front. Okay.
No.
Yeah. So now we have ij. What we need to do is we need to find 4 directions. So that's just the same code that we used before. We say std vector, right, of std pair int dir
No.
0 1 1 0 0 minus 1 1 minus 1 0. So that's 4 directions. And then we have ij, and we have, yeah, we just have ij. And then we'll go for auto didj of dirs int ni I plus di nj j plus dj if 0 smaller or equal to ni smaller and ni smaller than m and 0 smaller equal to nj and nj smaller than n, and your res ni nj, if res ni nj is equal to int max, which means we haven't visited before, then we say res ni nj shall equal to std, the minimum, res ni nj, the current, which is res ij, plus 1, right? So we got that, and we push it in. We say q dot push ninj. Okay, so once we do that, once we're done, we'll return res. Okay, let's see if it works. So far, so good.
Before?
No. 1765. Yeah. So what do? We say BFS start from the water cells and then plus 1 on its adjacent land cells. Then we start from the land cells and do the same to propagate the entire grid. For a new cell, we will take the minimum of its current height and its parent cell's height plus 1, because don't want to assign a height that is good for the current. I'm wondering if it will be like too small. No, we'll make sure, right? We'll make sure the new height is within is good, not only for the this is actually interesting. Do we just really do min, or we have to do some other trick here? We keep adding, we keep adding, we keep adding, so the value will get higher and higher and higher, right? The value will get higher. Would it be possible that when you start from... No, I guess it won't. Okay, let's just do this and then see if it works. If it doesn't, now we fix the bug. Let's just try, see if it works. Yeah, apparently it does. Apparently it does. So we have directions -1, set to 0. Also in the current layer, neighbor cell, if it's valid and it's equal to this, height of next cell. How do we, wait, hold on. Where do we compute height of next cell? Oh, increment height for the next layer. Yeah, so we don't have to do it this way. I can just... That is true. That is true. So we just need to increment for the next layer. The first layer, well, each layer will be the same height. Yeah, this is actually a more reasonable DP. What the hell? Nobody's gonna do this in DP. Come on. That's way too much code. Forward pass. Update height space on top and left neighbors. Initialize everything unprocessed to a maximum. And then we set water cell to have 0. And the forward pass goes through everybody. Minimum neighbor distance. Neighbor distance. So check the cell above. If it's valid. So the minimum will be minimum of the minimum distance or cell heights neighbor. Okay, check cell on the left. Minimum of the... What is this one used for? Minimum neighbor distance. Minimal neighbor distance. I think it's just to assign it back to the infinite. And this one shall be the minimum heights of your neighbor. I still don't understand. What's this? Minimum neighbor distance. It only shows up here. Oh, wait a second. No, it updates here. Minimum neighbor distances. And the height of your neighbor. So basically this one will take the minimum of your two heights, and then it will be this one plus 1, and to get a min. So up and a right, I find a smaller of the two, and then plus 1. I don't really think this is I don't think this is intuitive. I'll let it pass. Alright, that'll be it. Time to feed the cat. Cats.